Joe, I suppose the last time we spoke, just over a month ago, it was very disappointing that the championship was put on pause before it even began. But look, finally a bit of relief. You've a game to look forward to this Saturday, Waterford in the Munster minor football quarter final. I suppose, how has it been in the last 10 days since the fixture is made? Has been enough time for you?
Uh, it was good to get it back out of at least the cementing, and hopefully this time we'll actually get to play it. The players get to play. But yeah, when we held last week that it was coming back, we got ourselves organised, and we've trained. We've trained 3 times. We'll try it again now tomorrow night, and that'll be it then. But yeah, I try to keep going off what we've tried to do with the boys all through the year in between, and just get back to that. It's not nothing too specific, just in general.
And what
Make
was
sure
that?
everyone's okay.
And what was that month like away from the boys? Were they just tipping out their own things, or were they left to their own devices?
But they're left to their own devices because we actually thought it was all over for the year. But some of them have been tipping away with their clubs, Some haven't been done anything, but most of them are in good nick, in fairness to them. Inside and training, they picked it back up again fairly quickly. So I'd be happy enough with where they're at, really.
And obviously, a chance for them to play in the Gaelic grounds will be a first time for a lot of them. The pitches look kind of heavy, I suppose, in the senior games, which you'd never shy away from playing in Limerick's stadium.
I know a lot of pitches nowadays are in good condition. They're well minded, but Gaelic grounds will be a special place. Most of the lads probably would have never played there anyway. We got in there once before the October, before we were due to play the last time. So it was nice to get in there, so the boys have an idea where it is. It is a big, intimidating place too at times, So it's nice that the lads have got to get in there and see the place anyway, at least.
And will it be a factor, Joe, that there'll be no one inside for them to watch, or will that be easier on them, that there'll be less pressure?
I don't know. There'll be a parent of each of the players there, all right. But I don't know. Pressure comes from within yourself anyway. Some of the boys will take it on. There's more fellas might put pressure on themselves. You know what I mean? I suppose if there was a crowd, no, there wouldn't be a massive crowd between Limerick and Waterford playing minor football anyway. So inside the Gaelic grounds, it might be negligible. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I suppose in the month since we last spoke, you had a 32-man panel in October. I presume that's the same. And have you a clean bit of health going in on Saturday?
We've the same panel. We have 32. One lad is out injured, so we're down to 31. Kenny Lynch is going for a knee operation the 18th of this month. He'd done his cruciate plan with the club there in August or September. So he's out. Everyone else is available. And every night we've trained, we've had 31. So good turnouts.
And obviously on opponents, Waterford, you drew last year, and I suppose a 1-7-10 result is probably one you look back and it could have been one that pushed you forward. But you'll be expecting the same, a close game against Waterford again?
Yeah, I'd be definitely expecting a close game against them. I suppose with the year that's been in, it's hard to gauge what's coming down the line. We played them last year under 16. At the end of the year, in the Farmany Cup, and we beat them all right, but it was inside the 18th. It was a tight enough affair, We went down that last year in the minor and played them, and we were very lucky to get out of it with a draw. We played poor enough on the night. It was only in the last 10 minutes we actually dominated, got the scores to snatch a draw to come out of it. So we'll be taking nothing for granted. I don't think any of the teams anyway, Limerick, Waterford, Tip or Clare, would be taking anything for granted against each other anyway, because they'd all fancy each other, playing each other. There wouldn't be any fear,
Yeah, and just mentioning Tip and Clare, they obviously play the same day, and it's a very quick turnaround to be next Wednesday. Is that something you've looked ahead to, or are you just focusing solely on Saturday?
No, looking solely at Saturday. Well, Wednesday might be of no concern to us, but if we do, hopefully we will be Waterford. We'll look at it at 2:30 or 3 o'clock on Saturday before we break up with the lads after the match.
And obviously, in the meantime, since you were stopped training and you saw the seniors go so close, they obviously beat Waterford and go so close against Tipperary, and we saw a fair tip win. Is that something that them players can kind of look up to in Billy Lee's senior side and kind of try and emulate them?
It would be, especially when they're on television, boys were able to see the games as well. You know what I mean? Gives them that bit of incentive that's where they want to be. They want to be playing senior. They want to be on television. And like the seniors, in fairness, some were quite impressive since they came back after the lockdown. They had a good performance. But by the Wexford game, they had a good performance against Sligo, against Waterford, and against Tipperary. Very unfortunate, and Tipperary turn a cork over. So it has to be incentive to young lads. This is where they want to be. Minors a stepping stone at the end of the day. Seniors to be all in. That's if you have any ambition, that's where you want to be.